Mogo Wangoi, na Boniface Monzia. Joseph Mogo na Boniface Monzia. Mshtakiwa na kosa la kupatikana na mazao ya shamba ambayo inashukiwa ni ya wizi kinyume na sheria. Maelezo ya kesi inasemekana kuwa tarehe 8 mwezi wa 7 katika Del Monte Palm Field, Thika County, Kiambu County. Kwa pamoja mliweza kupatikana na mananasi 18 ambayo thamani yake ni shilingi 1,800 na mlika ni ya wizi kutoka Del Monte Farm Kenya. Ni kweli ama si kweli? Joseph Mogo, ni kweli ama si kweli? Na Boniface?
The order the facts, and that on the 8th of July 2025 at the Monte Farm, field number 58. G4 security guards attached at the Monte are conducting the normal patrol.
Maelezo ya kesi inasemekana kuwa tarehe 8 mwezi wa 7 katika farm field ya Del Monte. Afisa wa ulinzi kutoka G4S walikuwa wanafanya kazi ya doria.
They spotted 2 suspects who were stashing pineapple in a white sack.
Waliweza kupatana na washukiwa wawili ambao walikuwa na mananasi kwa gunia.
So they laid an ambush here. They were able to arrest the 2 suspects who were accused before the court.
Waliweza kuwashika na mimi washtakiwa wawili wako mbele ya mahakama.
Looking into the sack here, they found that there were 18 pineapples, which was suspected to be stolen from the field. They were arrested here and the pineapples are found. Which pineapples we wish to produce as
mananasi ambayo niliweza kushuka nayo kwa mbele ya mahakama. Ngoja mashtaka anataka kutoa kama thibitisho katika hili kesi. Thibitisho nambari ya pili ni gunia ambayo mkono naweka hiyo mananasi.
Where is the sack? Yes.
The 2 suspects were later escorted to Babu police station for further processing before being charged and the charge is located.
Mtu mlishikwa na mkashtakiwa na kosa ambalo liko mbele ya mahakama. Na haya ndio maelezo ya kesi. Mshtakiwa wa kwanza, maelezo ya kesi ni kweli ama si ukweli? Mshtakiwa wa pili? Mko na malilio, ningetaka kutoa mbele ya koti kabla hamjaamua. Mshtakiwa wa kwanza, uko na malilio? Elezea. Mshtakiwa wa pili? Rudia.
So washtakiwa, ni vizuri kujua hata kama unatafutia riziki watoto wako, yule mwingine mwenye analima na yeye anataka kupata riziki aweze kuuza mazao yake. So fine of 500 or serve 8 months in prison.
Kila mmoja wenu atalipa faini ya shilingi 5,500 ama miezi 8 gerezani. Kuna siku 14 za kupata rufaa kama hamjaridhika. Patrick Ndongo Kipe.
Return is produced to the company.
Yule kama I am issuing. You can place me on record for the intended accused. Before the charge sheet is read out, we wish to make an application under the provisions of Section 8 of the Magistrates Court Act, as read with Article 25 of the Constitution. The intended accused person is subject to the jurisdiction of the High Court. On the basis of an application for habeas corpus. Being High Court Criminal Miscellaneous Application number E050 of 2025. Through which the High Court called for his body to be produced on the 10th of July 2025. Having found compelling reasons that the intended accused had been held incognito and arbitrarily in violation of his rights under the Constitution. We are therefore surprised, being aware that my client has been summoned before the High Court tomorrow. The state has produced him for plea before you, seeking to have you acquiesce and further the violation of my client's rights. I have produced before you a copy of the order of the High Court, duly served and received by the relevant authorities who are presented before you for plea. We urge you to exercise your inherent jurisdiction to control the processes and deem this plea an abuse of the processes of the court with the singular and sole goal of curtailing the exercise of the High Court with regard to the present habeas corpus application before. will note that where 3 of that particular order of the court, the High Court asked the relevant authorities to produce the warrant or order of detention.
It's okay, Counsel, I can read. Also. So maybe the prosecution can bring.
Your name is Mr. Owino for the state.
Miss.
We have just this morning
Say
been
please.
served, Mr. Owino.
Okay.
We have just this morning been served with the order for habeas corpus while we were seated here in court. And a quick perusal of the order reveals that there is no stay. Forbidding or otherwise stopping the accused person from taking. Your Honor, it is rather insincere for defense to allude that the motive of the state arraigning the suspect in court this morning is to defeat the purpose of the habeas, which order we have just been served with this morning. Your Honor, in addition, counsel has also not demonstrated the manner in which the rights of the suspect has been infringed on, if any at all. Your Honor, if at all the rights of the suspect have been infringed in any manner whatsoever, because lies in the High Court. And nothing stops the defense from moving the High Court appropriately. Our prayer therefore, Your Honor, is that the suspect should go ahead and take plea, as there is no material that has been presented before this court that acts as a stay. Thank you.
I cannot quickly join. With regard to service of the order, you know what we have placed before you. This was an order issued on the 8th of July, and it's duly received and stamped on the 8th of July. If their clients did not deem it fit to disclose this information to the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution, this cannot be placed on the feet of my client or myself. The order was served in a timely manner. Lack of knowledge of the same by the Office of the DPP falls squarely upon their client. In the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, the IG of the police, and Sub-County Criminal Investigating Officer Juta. They cannot therefore rely on that ground to defeat the application for plea to be deferred. Yona have been,
Brief
At
rejoinder,
least-
council.
yes, it's a brief
Brief
rejoinder.
rejoinder, is that
Yes,
a
yes,
brief
but there
rejoinder?
was some admonition that I was being insincere, which I need to clarify, Your Honor. Your Honor, it does not take a professor of law to see what is being. Your Honor, an order was served upon them to produce the accused person before the High Court tomorrow the 10th, alongside an order of detention. Following said service, they have produced the accused person before you, with the clear and only goal of acquiring a warrant of detention, with which they shall produce it before the High Court. This is not far-fetched. It can clearly be seen from the actions. It's a necessary implication. With regards to the issue of that recourse being sought before the High Court, the intended accused has already done in an order has been issued. And it is before you. The Superior Court has acquired jurisdiction with regards to the accused person. And given the hierarchy and supremacy of the courts, it given the hierarchy of the courts, Your Honor, it behooves you to don your tools, let the High Court proceed and conclude the issue of the violation of his rights, given that your jurisdiction under Section 8 is very limited.
Yes, council, and you should not try to instruct the court on how to proceed.
Your Honor, I am not instructing you. I'm making a
Yes, and the
submission
law
on
is
behalf of my
very
client.
clear, so if you have submissions to make, just stick to the law without looking like you're supervising the court.
Your Honor, hierarchy of the court is a matter of
It
law.
is okay, the law is clear and the court will visit that in its directions. Are we together? Yes. See, the
Your
law
Honor,
is
should also
clear.
not seem to be holding brief for the ODP.
Okay, council, your comments are noted for the record.
Also right.
Yes, I'm having problems with my laptop. It's not responding. Yes. Charging. Please replace the file. So we'll place the file aside as we fix the laptop. Next.
Shadrack Kibova Mutunga. Shadrack Kibova Mutunga ana miaka ngapi? 17.
How long does it take to conduct age assessment? Yes, because even if he says if he's a minor, the same should be done in all the cases. Okay. Yes, so that you can take the right way. So I direct the accused be taken for age assessment. Mention. And Friday is which date?
11 p.m. Utapelekwa ukapima miaka, alafu baada ya kupima miaka utaletwa kotini on Friday kusoma mashtaka baada ya siku ya miaka kufika kotini. Alan Kiama wa Moyo. Gabriel Ochieng. Alan Kiama. Gabriel Ochieng. Alan Kiama na Gabriel Ochieng wameshtakiwa na kosa la kuvunja store kinyume na sheria. Maelezo ya kesi inasemekana kuwa tarehe 24 mwezi wa 5 na tarehe 1 mwezi wa 7 katika Malaba area na pia sub county Kiambu County. Nyote kwa pamoja na wengine ambao hawako mbele ya mahakama waliweza kuvunja na kuingia store ambayo ni ya Monica Karanja nikiwa na nia ya kufanya uharibifu. Mshtakiwa wa kwanza leo ni kila Masikweli. Mshtakiwa wa pili Gedra. Mshtakiwa na kosa la pili, kosa la wizi kinyume na sheria. Maelezo ya kesi inasemekana kuwa tarehe 24 mwezi wa 5 na tarehe 1 mwezi wa 7 mwaka huu katika Malaba area, Juja sub county, Kiambu County, kwa pamoja na wengine ambao hawako mbele ya mahakama waweza kuiba bags za simiti, 180 bags za simiti. Pesa yake ni 137,700 na pia mkaweza kuiba bidhaa za kupima mbao feet ambayo ni dhamana ya shilingi 75,000. Zote kwa pamoja ni 212,000 mali ya Monica Karanja. Mshtakiwa wa kwanza leo ni kila Masikweli. Mshtakiwa wa pili
bond of 200,000 with surety and security of a similar amount or cash bail of 150,000 mentioned.
the 15th of August, the 22nd of October, court number 2, 22nd of October. Kila mmoja wenu amekabidhiwa bond ya 200,000 ama pesa taslim 150,000. Weza kulipa mtafisi kisini kwa nje kama mtaweza kulipa. Tarehe 15 mwezi wa 8 mtaitika gerezani. Kesi itasikizwa tarehe 22 mwezi wa 10, court number 2. Christopher Nyongesa Otieno. Christopher Nyongesa. Christopher Nyongesa Otieno mshtakiwa na kosa la uvunjaji wa nyumba kinyume na sheria. Maelezo ya kesi inasemekana kuwa tarehe 3 mwezi wa 7 katika Makongeni Landless Area, Thika Sub County, Kiambu County, uliweza kuvunja na kuingia nyumba ya Kenneth Mugo Waithaka ukiwa na nia ya kufanya uhalifu. Ni kweli ama si kweli? Tuiona. Kiongozi wa mashtaka anaomba atoe tarehe ndio aweze kusoma maelezo ya kesi. Wale tuko chini tarehe 6 mwezi wa 8 kusoma maelezo ya kesi. Mildred Hasita Lumumba. Mildred simama tafadhali. Mildred Hasita Lumumba mshtakiwa na kosa la kutekeleza mtoto kinyume na sheria. Maelezo ya kesi inaonekana kwa tarehe 6 mwezi wa 7, Kiganjo Area, Thika Sub County, Kiambu County. Wewe ukiwa mzazi wa mtoto ambaye ni wa umri wa miaka 14, kwa kupenda ulimtekeleza huyo mtoto kwa kumwacha awe ni mtoto ambaye anahitaji protection na care, ulimwachilia. Ni kweli ama si kweli? Tuiona. Mshtakiwa na kosa la pili kumtekeleza mtoto.
Telekeza.
Kumtelekeza mtoto kinyume na sheria. Maelezo ya kesi inasemekana kuwa tarehe 6 mwezi wa 7, Kiganjo Area, Thika Sub County, Kiambu County, ikiwa mama wa mtoto ambaye umri wake ni 14, kwa kupenda ulimwachilia huyo mtoto. Kweli ama si kweli? Ni kweli. Tuione.
For August before court number 6.
The children officer file a children officer's report.
Taleta kotini. Tarehe 12 mwezi wa 8, children officer atafungua file ambayo itaangalia watoto. Mariam Achieng Modaho. Mariam Achieng. Mariam Achieng Modaho mshtakiwa na kosa la kuchapa na kumjeruhi mtu kinyume na sheria. Maelezo ya kesi inasemekana kuwa tarehe 6 mwezi wa 7 katika Nyasava Center, Thika Sub County, Kiambu County. Wewe na kwa pamoja wengine wako mbele ya mahakama uliweza kumchapa na kumjeruhi Simon Geshere Matipa. Ni kweli ama si kweli? Uko na miaka ngapi?
20.
Brian Yoko. Brian Yoko. Brian Munene. Brian Munene. Peter Juma. Peter Juma. Samuel Ndegwa. Samuel Ndegwa. Joseph Kamau. Joseph Kamau. Joseph Njeri Ngoni. Joseph Njeri Ngoni. Michael Maura Wainaina alias Michael Junior. Michael Maura. Brian Juma Wainaina alias Joseph Langan. Samson Maura. Samson Maura. Tom Mwini. Tom Mwini. Brian Karanja. Brian Karanja.
We'll take more time arguing that.
Francis Dukuna.
Let's just argue it. Sleep, bro.
Peter Njogu.
So yeah, it's fine, but I don't want. But we can join based on that.
Operation.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. If it may please you, in the matter, I'm Mr. Abner Mango. Kindly place me on record for the suspects, for the 58 suspects. Your Honor, I do appeal.
Country, and mostly in the Mount Kenya region. The militia were procured by Ruto. Governors and MPs allied to him. These regions include Nairobi, Kiambu, Kajiado, Kisii, Nyeri, Murang'a, Kiambu, Kirinyaga, Meru, Nyandarua, Kajiado, Kitengela, Ongata-Rongai, Machakos, Embu, and in Wote. They had clear instructions to loot and destroy specific properties under police supervision. A killer squad of 101 that works under the Director General of the National Intelligence Service, Nuruddin Haji, was armed with assault rifles and drove in a convoy of unmarked Subarus, shooting and killing innocent protesters aimlessly in the streets and estates. This squad in Subarus, hooded and masked against court orders, are disguising themselves as DCI's officers, yet we know they are not. In fact, I would like to clarify that the National Intelligence Service has procured Subarus to give an impression that this killer gang is from the DCI. The truth of the matter is that this has nothing to do with the DCI. This is the National Intelligence Service. And this squad of 101 people was formed when I was still in government. Officers were recruited from the Administration Police Unit for special training by NIS on abductions, killings, and cover-up. And this is a squad that is killing the people of Kenya. The killings and the business destruction pattern point to William Ruto's ethnic profiling narrative, which he is a master with no rival. With a close coordination of PS Interior Raymond Omolo, this narrative was boosted online by state bloggers to spin the narrative. The Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen's public to shoot to kill order, coupled with assurances to police officers that the government will not cooperate with the investigators in police conduct, has emboldened security forces. Police officers are now on record threatening citizens who are in their homes, boasting of their license to kill, acting with a confidence that can only come from the highest echelons of power. Mr. Murkomen's admission that these are not just instructions from him but orders from above removes any ambiguity about where responsibility lies. It will be recalled that in the run-up to the 2007 general election and its aftermath, the narrative of 41 against 1 was a masterpiece of William Ruto. The target was profiling Kikuyus against the rest of the country. To a large extent, he succeeded, and every Kenyan knows what happened, and it is also fresh in his mind of the ICC ordeal still hanging on the neck of William Ruto today. We remind William Ruto that his ICC cases are not yet over. They have been posed after witnesses disappeared. And what he is pretending over are crimes under the Rome Statute. It is clear history is repeating itself. And the architect William Ruto is back on the deck. He is hell-bent to finish his unfinished business with the people of Mount Kenya, destroy their businesses and make them black sheep of Kenya. Despite this horrible experience, the people of Mount Kenya voted William Ruto to a man in 2022 general elections against the advice of President Uhuru Kenyatta, whom Mr. Ruto had branded as a drunkard and a useless leader. Today, the people of Kenya, and especially the Mount Kenya region, feel sorry that they did not heed to the advice of Uhuru Kenyatta. These state-sponsored militia were key in touching of various parts of the country with ease of police assistance to prefer terrorism charges on specific people from Mount Kenya region. So far, about 50 young people are in courts in trumped-up charges of terrorism in scenarios of state-managed crimes by the state. Again, this is a clear onslaught on the Kikuyu nation. A case in point, when a police station in Mawego in Homa Bay County was torched, the suspects for that particular crime have been charged with arson. But when a police station is alleged to have been torched in Kiambu, suspects from the Kikuyu nation are charged with terrorism charges. This is serious ethnic profiling. Last night, in Juja and Kirinyaga, these state-sponsored militia invaded various businesses. Luckily, in Kirinyaga, after Wananchi went to Sagana police station and they refused to act, saying they had orders from above not to interfere, the people organized themselves and repulsed the militia. Mr. Ruto's ethnic profiling has led to the destruction of the foreign properties belonging to the people of Mount Kenya. Maguna supermarkets in Meru, Kahawa West and Muranga. Nice supermarkets, hotel and petrol station, and nice city in Mwea in Kirinyaga. County supermarkets in Kabati and Kirinyaga. Power Star supermarkets, Quick Mart supermarkets in Eastern Bypass, Shell and Totomin markets in Roido, Chill Post Hotel in Gong, Boju Shop in Keserian, Homegrown Supermarket among others, and the Family Bank in Kahawa and Roido. Notably, in Meru, these state-sponsored militia tried to attack Meru Dairy Processing Plant and were repulsed by workers. In Nyeri, they further tried to attack Wakulima Dairy in Mukurweini, and the attack failed. We urge our businesses to heighten security surveillance on their business premises and production lines, especially the KTDA, coffee factories, milk processing factories, among others. We take note that in Meru, on Sunday the 6th of July, at an event attended by CS Kipchumba Murkomen, the MP for Bori, Mugambire Dikire, indicated that a supermarket would be attacked the following day. As sure as December 25 is Christmas, and true to his word, Maguna supermarket was torched by the state-sponsored militia, which the MP was private to. Why hasn't Mugambire Dikire been arrested? How did he know that a supermarket would be attacked? This is selective justice. The evidence that these militias are state-sponsored is plain for all to see. Videos circulating widely show police officers not merely failing to intervene, but actively transporting armed groups who proceed to unleash destruction with apparent impunity. Uniformed officers have been seen standing guard as these groups rampage. They are in action and a stark contrast to strong statements being made by government. In Nyeri, journalists were attacked by these militias in the presence of the police. It is well documented. This is a clear indicator that Ruto is working with governors and MPs allied to him to destroy businesses owned by the Kikuyu, the Meru and the Embu, and blame it on people who don't support his administration. This is a tactic that was used by the colonialists with the collaborators who searched earth policy and torched buildings and businesses and blamed it on the Mau Mau. This divide and rule tactic will not work, Mr. Ruto. We know that in Meru, they want to use this mayhem to blame Thika Lenturi. In Embu, they have already blamed Mkonji Gitonga. In Ketengela, Iron Gong, they want to target Senator Seki and MP Onesmus Ngogoyo. In Nyeri, they are trying to haunt Honorable Kagusha. And in Kirinyaga, they are targeting Senator Murango. We want to remind President Ruto that it is not the Kikuyus who want him out of office. It is the entire people of Kenya. Kenyans are suffering equally across the country. That is why Kenyans have said, if you, Mr. William Ruto, believe that it is the Kikuyus who want you out, then all Kenyans are Kikuyus. I want to thank the people of Kenya for standing out against this tribal profiling of the Kikuyu. The people of Kenya yesterday did wonderful by saying that the Kikuyus should not be profiled. This morning, I've seen Ruto quivering and wailing in uncontrollable anger. Mr. Ruto, excessive anger is not a solution. I want, with a lot of humility, to advise you to stop being angry. That will not help. You need to know what you need to do because you have not been listening to the people of Kenya. The people of Kenya are more angry than you are. They are angry because you have overtaxed them. There is wanton corruption. There is abductions and extrajudicial killings. There is ethnic profiling and other ills that bedevil your administration. If you want to be calm, please abolish the housing levy and give dignity to the payslip. I have heard you saying that you cannot give jobs to the young people. Please restore the dignity of the payslip. Restore the capacity of the middle class. The middle class will give jobs to these young people. Stop killing and profiling the young people. Listen to them. Stop abductions and extrajudicial killings. Abolish, disband the killer squad of 101 officers at Nurdin Haji. Give hustlers the jobs that you promised them. Mr. William Ruto, you are the one who promised. You cannot cry today that you have no solution, saying that other presidents have not been able to do it. You are the one who promised these young people. Stop police brutality. Stop abductions and illegal detentions. Get the hustlers from the bottom of the economic pyramid as you promised. Yes, Mr. President, we agree there were other presidents before you, as you have rightly stated, and true, they never went through what you are experiencing today. May it please you to know that the reason why Kenyans rarely had problems with them, Mwai Kibaki and Uhuru Kenyatta were guided by the Constitution and the rule of law. They did not capture our constitutional institutions to work for them, instead of working for Kenyans. They never killed children. They never attempted to build churches in State House. They never organized militias to destroy people's property and kill them. That is why you have a problem. And we also want to remind you that Mwai Kibaki had a difficult time from you, William Ruto. Videos are everywhere. You cannot say that Mwai Kibaki did not face resistance. It's on record that you gave hell to President Kenyatta for 5 years. So it is hypocritical for you to allege that Mwai Kibaki and Uhuru Kenyatta had a very easy time. Most of the problems Mwai Kibaki and Uhuru Kenyatta had came from yourself, and it's on record. We want to advise you that the one-term movement is not getting you out of power outside the Constitution. Mr. President, nobody wants to throw you. Nobody wants to overthrow your government. Nobody wants you out of power through unconstitutional means. Mr. President, I and the people we work with are on record. We want to remove you from State House through the ballot in 2027. This narrative you are creating that there is an attempt to overthrow your government is for you to have the opportunity to use the Terrorism Act to profile communities and to persecute leaders who are opposed to your administration. Please relax. We want you to serve your one term. Nobody wants you out of government unconstitutionally. Nobody has any plan to overthrow your administration, Mr. President. We want to face you on the ballot in August 2027. So just relax and stop crying wolf that anybody wants you out of office unconstitutionally. There is no leader here who is planning a coup, and none has the capacity. And nobody is interested. The leaders in this country, and indeed 95% of the Kenyan population, want to humiliate you at the ballot. They will relish that moment. None of them would want you to go out through any other method, unless, of course, you decided to resign on your own volition. So please stop creating this narrative. This narrative is to enable you to use anti-terrorism law to persecute leaders and to persecute the Kikuyu community. If you speak out online, Mr. President, you want to use the Terrorism Act to harass people. If you dare challenge your administration, you want to use the Terrorism Act to deal with people who are opposed to your administration. My fellow Kenyans, let us not be deceived. William Ruto has stripped away even the pretense of democracy. What we are witnessing is not the rule of law, but the rule of fear. This is not the behavior of a government that serves its people. This is the machinery of outright dictatorship. Finally, I want to announce to the people of Kenya that tonight I will be traveling to the United States of America to talk to the Kenyans in diaspora and the international community about the state of the nation. I would have wanted to stay in the country at this very difficult time when our people are under siege, but I have engagements that I'm not able to postpone. I have been threatened by people close to William Ruto, who called some of my people today, that they will want to stop me from leaving the country. I have no problem. If you want to come and arrest me at the airport, as you are threatening us, you can go ahead. I don't have a problem. You cannot sell fear to us. You know, even if you sold us fear, we cannot buy. You know, and therefore, as I'm out of the country, unless I'm stopped from going, and if I'm stopped from going, I'm still okay. I'll be here because this is my country. We have made sufficient arrangements with other leaders in the united opposition to create a pool of lawyers to come in through for our young people who are being persecuted on trumped-up charges of terrorism. And I want to explain. I have heard the president saying that people have attacked police stations and the law courts. It was all stage managed by the MP for Kikuyu. How do you explain that people can walk into a police station and they are not armed and take over the police station from armed police officers? How do you go to the courts that are guarded by armed police officers and touch them? All these attacks of vital installations were stage managed by William Ruto through Kimani Ichung'wah to create the opportunity to prefer charges against people using the Anti-Terrorism Act. That is the reality. So nobody has attacked any police station. They were all stage managed by government. And what is happening is history is repeating itself. This is exactly what Moi did in the 80s against the Kikuyu community. After the abortive 1982 coup, he used sedition laws and the clandestine Kenya movement to profile the community and hold people into court, and they'll be taken by Bernard Chunga after 5 p.m. This is history repeating itself. I want to ask our people to be calm, to be cautious, and to be strong. I want to appeal to our young people, the Gen Zs. Looking at the scenario of what is happening and what William Ruto has planned, I want to ask my children, my sons and daughters, to consider applying the next onslaught against the President William Ruto by getting IDs and registering as voters so that they can deal with William Ruto on the ballot. Because I fear for them. Anytime they go out to the streets, they are killed like chicken. I would like to preserve to us these children. We would like to live with them. We would like to see them grow. And when we look at the desperation of William Ruto and the brutal force he is using against these children and the use of state militias to attack them, I would like to plead with them to consider, to join us, we in the opposition, by registering as voters. And in 2027, we'll be able to get rid of President William Ruto. William Ruto, finally, let me ask you a question. The Kikuyu nation, the Mount Kenya people, you call tribalists every day. These people you are waging war against, their businesses, are the same people who voted for you, even after what you did to them in 2007. They forgave you and considered you as a person they can elect as president. You have turned against the community. You are trying to mobilize other Kenyans to profile them and to fight them, but they have refused. These same people from Mount Kenya have the capacity to support somebody else. It must not be you. And they proved that they are not tribal by voting for you when you are Kalenjin. They can vote for a Kamba. They can vote for a Kisi. They can vote for a Luya. They can vote for a Maasai. That sense of entitlement that you are having to the Mount Kenya vote is misplaced. They voted for you, yes. You betrayed them. You turned against them. They don't have to vote for you again. Please stop persecuting them into submission. They will not submit to your brutality, to your vicious attack against them and their leaders. That I want to tell you for free today. I have listened to you talking with a lot of anger, calling them tribalists. They are not. How can they be tribalists when they voted for you and you are not one of them? But you don't have a sense of entitlement that they must vote for you. You know what you have done to them and why they have reacted the way they have. And I want to assure you, you cannot scare them into submission. Even if you jail them, they will not submit. These are seasoned descendants of the freedom fighters, and they cannot be intimidated. So let me encourage my leaders here as I go away to remain strong, to remain focused, and to speak for the people of Kenya. I am I have a lot of gratitude to the Honorable Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka and Eugene Wamalwa, who have been in court the whole of yesterday and today, standing strong and defending our young people who have been framed and charged with treason. For those two leaders, I want to give them the gratitude of my community and our leadership. They have come through for a community when it's under siege, and we are indeed very, very grateful. I want to ask our leaders here to be vigilant and to continue speaking out to the people of Kenya. Should the situation get out of hand and I need to cut my trip short and come back to join the other leaders in defending our people and speaking for them, I will gladly do so. Thank you very much.
That's comprehensive.
I don't think iko maswali hata kidogo. Labda ile watu ya Kameme iko na Igoro. Muko tayari wale watu ya Kifaransa?
Do they have previous records?
Let's take their fingerprints.
So you don't know. But according to their flight lists, you have judged them through your eyes. No further questions, Your Honor.
Here are just the questions for the suspect.
Yeah.
He's getting it. No, you did not. And you've made allegations about where you were arrested, where you were rounded up. Do you have an affidavit of any of the arresting officers to attest to that?
I have their statements.
I'm asking, do you have an affidavit?
I have their statements.
Are those statements annexed to your affidavit?
They are not my next.
It's a simple yes or no. Are they annexed or
They are not.
They are not. Thank you. Move on. A distance of, let's say, 500 meters. Yes?
No.
Physical evidence is within these 500 meters? Okay. Where is this other evidence if it's not within these 500 meters? What evidence have you collected?
It is only one night, so I could not.
Today is a night.
More evidence as I require. That is the reason why I've come here.
Have you collected anything?
I have evidence. I have evidence.
Have you annexed them? Have you referred to them?
After that, I have evidence which I will have.
Unknown?
They are
Innumerable?
They are known.
Lastly, my last two questions. You say that you need time to collect the CCTV from Matai supermarket and to do the audit report come inventory. Yes? That is the remaining part of the investigation.
No.
But this is the one you highlighted to the court.
Yes.
So these 53 suspects, can they in any way, have you indicated that affidavit, in any way interfere with your collection of that CCTV, audit report, or inventory?
Yes, I have indicated.
Where? Show me the paragraph.
In my affidavit, I've stated that it is in the interest of justice and fairness that the Honorable Court grants the custodial orders sought to enable the applicants to conclude investigations without interference or obstruction.
Your take. So do you disclose in what way they would interfere or obstruct the investigation?
They can interfere in many.
Have you indicated in your affidavit? Don't speculate. Inspector, just say, have you indicated it in your affidavit? If not, you
They can interfere with witnesses.
tumaliza hii maneno.
They can interfere with witnesses before.
Have you indicated that in your affidavit?
Interference means that.
Lastly, Mr. Inspector, with regards to this person having non-known abuse, yes? You have seen that? You've indicated the names of these people. Where did you get this information? You've indicated first to 53rd 258 are Victor Munyao, Sirisia, and the others. You indicated their names. Yes? Where did you get this information? About their names. Where did you get their names? They gave you their names. And you saw the identification, I am sure, to confirm those were their names.
So far noted, I will confirm. That is the reason why.
You did not take the IDs?
I have not taken their fingerprints. That is what I'm saying.
But you take the IDs to confirm their names.
Somebody can collect ID from the street.
What you did? Just
yes or no? Their fingerprints will tell me their names.
I do not want to stop putting the cat in front. Don't keep, just answer. Did you take the IDs to confirm their names?
Most of them had no IDs.
Okay, but once you did, you took the IDs?
Yes, I did.
At the back of that ID, it's indicated where these people come from. Is it not?
Most of them do not have ID cards.
No, the ones you took, is it indicated where they come from?
Indicated. ID cards are indicated where people
So you are therefore giving false information when you say you don't know their phone. Is it not true? It tells even the location, sub-location.
That is your assumption.
That is what's taking place.
Your Honor, that's all in cross-exam.
Inspector, do you have information of where exactly these suspects reside?
No, Your Honor.
Repeat the question for the record.
I repeat for the sake of the court. Do you have information of exactly where the suspects who are before court reside? Not where they live, but where they reside?
I don't know.
Do you have any information whatsoever of what they do for their living and where they work?
No, Your Honor.
Have you completed your investigations on their age and their exact and correct names?
No, Your Honor.
That's all from the witness. Submission. Is that under Article 49(1)(g), the Constitution foresees three possibilities in as far as an arrested person is concerned. The first possibility is where they are charged. The second possibility is where reasons are given for their continued detention. And the third possibility is where a suspect is released on reasonable bond terms or such as other conditions are as necessary to the court. In the celebrated case of Oscar Sudi, which I am sure has been quoted before this court, Justice Joel Ngudi stated that whereas it is undesirable for the freedoms and liberties of citizens to be curtailed by the state, where exceptional circumstances exist, which form the bedrock of compelling reasons why a suspect or suspects in this case should continue to be detained without being formally charged. The learned judge will find that such orders should be granted once it is established that the state is acting in good faith and that the three-pronged interest that is the interest, public interest, public order and security. The interest to uphold the sanctity of the administration of justice, and also look at the events of the 7th day of July this year. As such that there was massive looting and destruction of property in other parts of the country. It is therefore our prayer that since the suspects were arrested allegedly in the course of committing the offense of looting within a supermarket, after allegedly committing other offenses in the course of the day, Your Honor, those circumstances were so exceptional that it was impossible for police officers to watch these offenses being committed and allow the offenders to walk away, to allow for investigations and arrest later on. In practice, investigating officers arrest after investigations. But the gravity of the offenses and the manner in which these offenses were being committed on the material debt necessitated that the suspects be arrested immediately, presented before court, and investigations to follow thereafter. Well, in conclusion, it is therefore our prayer that we arrest several of our precedents and jurisprudence in the country does not favor pre-charge detention. This is a unique circumstance. That calls for the court to grant the state the fair suit.
It's easy, yes. Maybe I'm just doing preliminary.
To ensure that the right to property, the sanctity of life, and the need to preserve the integrity of the administration of justice is upheld. We therefore pray for the suspects to be detained as claimed by the investigating officer. Thank you.
Counsel, you had said you are cross-examining without any submissions.
If the record captured that way, then
Yes, that is what
I did not assert that.
Are you calling?
We have to if the record captures that, then we can strike it out of the record.
There.
We have to strike that out.
When counsel said
The IO.
yes.
Yes, I was opposed to the line of him submitting on grounds that were not.
She asked you whether you were going to submit or cross-examine.
Your Honor, if my memory serves me right, when he made allegations on factual issues that were not on the ground.
Instead of all this, which is a considerable consumption of time, yes, you can clarify then.
Oh, very well.
I wanted a clarification on whether the counsel should be allowed to first cross-examine and then later on submit, or we should submit first and then later on cross-examine. So his right to submission was not taken.
Okay, but let it not take 20 minutes of the court's time.
Your Honor, I'll take 5. I think we'll allocate each other 5 minutes, so that will come to 30 minutes. Very well, Your Honor.
No, not 30 minutes. The court's time, not your time. We have other accused persons waiting for justice.
Very well. Your Honor, I'd refer this court to Article 21(1) of the Constitution, which gives this honorable court the fundamental duty of the state and every organ to observe, respect, promote, and fulfill the rights and fundamental freedoms in the Bill of Rights. So all actors, be it the court, be it the ODPP under Article 157, and even advocates under Section 456 of the Law Society of Kenya Act, we are enshrined or enjoined by the Constitution to act in that manner. Your Honor, it is unfortunate that the proceedings and the application before you has been brought under circumstances which I'll shortly demonstrate that are in clear violation of fundamental rights and freedom of the suspects. Very important and preliminary, Your Honor, is the provision under Article 49(1)(f), which provides an arrested person the right to be presented before a court as soon as reasonable, but not later than, Your Honor, 24 hours after being arrested. Your Honor, the prosecution has craftily averred that they placed the suspects in their custody at around 2000 hours on 7. Your Honor, even if we were to go by their submissions, which we oppose and strongly deny, because most of these suspects were arrested way before that time and have spent more than 36 hours behind custody. Your Honor, that article enjoins not 24 after 24 hours. It is within 24 hours. And they have not endeavored absolutely to give any reason whatsoever or any circumstances that would have prompted for them to invoke Article 49(1)(f)(2). That is why they should have, why they brought them after the 24 hours. So that is a clear violation. Your Honor, that is important for us by dint of Article 25A of the Constitution, which provides for human dignity. Your Honor, we can argue all we want, but one of the fundamental freedoms, Your Honor, is the right to be treated in a humane way, not in a degrading manner, and not to be punished. Your Honor, most of the suspects here in contravention of the same have been inhumanly treated. They have been punished. Some of them are limping. Some of them are injured. And Your Honor, very unfortunately, they are malnourished and famished. They have not eaten. Your Honor, in fact, with the indulgence of the court, we will be seeking, because we have well-wishers who've brought some bread and milk, if they could be served with the same, Your Honor. From the face, you could see. Your Honor, Article 43(2) also provides for the right of any person to be accorded medical treatment. Your Honor, some of the suspects before you have been injured. Some of them, their eyes are red because of the injuries. They have bloodshot eyes, which indeed needs immediate emergency medical treatment. And as such, none has been accorded within the 24 hours, after the 24 hours, and they are better off at their homes, where they can now personally secure and guarantee their rights. Your Honor, 2 points before I conclude. The application before you, my colleagues will clearly demonstrate, is a frivolous application. Your Honor, the DPP is entrusted under Article 157(11) to act in a manner that promotes public interest. Further, Your Honor, Section 4 of the ODPP Act, the DPP should act in a manner that promotes public confidence. The manner in which the arrests have been conducted, the treatment of the suspect while in custody, their continuous detention without trial, does not in any way promote public interest or instill public confidence in the prosecution. Your Honor, we are saddened that the IO who has taken the dock did not even take time to ascertain the age of these suspects. Your Honor, Section 8 of the Children's Act enjoins each party to act in a manner that promotes the best interest of children. So even seeking 10 days to continue holding a child who has parents reveals and clearly shows the malice behind this application, the misuse of custodial applications, which will be extrapolated by my colleague. And Your Honor, we will be urging you in our submission that for the case of the children, let them be released unconditionally to their parents. But for the rest of the suspects, Your Honor, let them be released unconditionally or on personal bonds. Your Honor, I'll invite Ms. Wanjira to proceed. Submission.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. For the record, my name is Wanjira Mwana. Your Honor, a lot has been said to you this afternoon, but it is important to note that the prosecution has conveniently omitted the fact that there is no holding charge to continue holding the respondents. The application, you have been told, is premised on Article 49, 1 specifically F, G, and H, I believe. To quote Justice Kimaru in Michael Rotich versus the Republic, the citation, which is 2016 EKLR, Justice Kimaru came to the conclusion that the proper and constitutional meaning of being informed for detention continuing as you're being sought by the prosecution, the proper constitutional meaning of that phrase and of Article 49 is for there to be presented a holding charge. The only thing you have been brought, or the only thing you have been presented to, Your Honor, is just a narrative based solely on the word of the inspector that there are offenses correctly known and contemplated in law, but these do not amount to holding charges. In the alternative, Your Honor, you have been told that there are compelling reasons to continue holding them. So there is no holding charge, but there are compelling reasons. In regards to the compelling reason, Your Honor, it takes us to Section 36 again, on which this application is premised. When looking at compelling circumstances, Your Honor, you should be looking at the nature of the offense, the general nature of the evidence tabled before you, the inquiries that have been made by the police, and the reasons that necessitate the continued holding of the respondents. I think everybody here has heard the police inspector speak in a futuristic sense. I will record, I will present, I will annex, I will disclose, I will attach, I will audit. But he has brought you nothing. Your Honor, he has not presented you with names of complainants. He has not presented you with OB numbers. He has not presented you with photographs of allegedly damaged vehicles. He has brought you nothing. Your Honor, the only compelling material you have been tabled or you have been presented with is just the word of the inspector, nothing else. This obviously, speaking from his hollow affidavit, just the strength of his word, nothing else. You are supposed to waive this respondent's right to liberty and presumption of innocence, just his word alone. A question has been posited, I think, by the prosecution, whether the inspector knows where the respondents live. And because the inspector has done absolutely nothing by way of investigations, then the respondents cannot be released. But that is not the legislative path that has been set before you, Your Honor, under Section 36 of the CPC, again, that premises, or that, that this application is premised on. In considering whether to release the respondents, Section 36A, subsection 4, obliges this court to look at three things and three things only. Number one, the need to safeguard investigations by ensuring non-interference of witnesses. As we speak, Your Honor, you have not been given any names of witnesses. You have not been given copies of their complaints. You have not been given OBs. You have not been given anything. Therefore, it is logical, and I would say maybe even common sense, to conclude that there are no complainants at this stage, because none of the names have been brought before you. It is said that the respondents were looting and even beating
the people that work at Mathai Supermarket. You have not been given any names of injured persons that work at Mathai Supermarket. So even if they were to come on as witnesses for the prosecution and even for the investigator, those names have not been brought before you. So there are no witnesses to be interfered with at this moment, Your Honor.
Just summarize here.
In closing, two other things need to be considered by this court: whether the respondents are available to facilitate investigations, and whether they can appear at the specified place that is named by this court. Your Honor, the respondents are able and willing to present themselves at Kibi or at Juja police station if the court obliges it. And therefore it should not be a reason that the fact that the inspector does not know where they live is not enough reason to prevent them from being released by this court today. My able co-counsels will demonstrate other things, but it is clear that this is simply a good example of police overreach and the weaponization of the criminal justice system against its respondents. Thank you, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Let's proceed.
Your Honor, on the notice of motion, paragraph 5, we are being told that the respondents resulted in widespread destruction of property. Widespread. Your Honor, you know that the standard of proof in any criminal matter should be proof beyond reasonable doubt and not proof on a balance of probability. And therefore, Your Honor, when we talk of widespread destruction of property, it means that the rule of specificity is not observed. Then they further go and tell you that there is looting of private property, and then they don't provide evidence to that, as at today, as at now. And they talk of that the respondents will pose a serious threat to public safety and national security. Your Honor, I will draw you to a case of R versus Richard David Aldens. That is the High Court at the High Court of Nairobi, criminal case number 48 of 2016, where the court denied a claim that an accused
We all don't like having to wait in long queues or for a long time just to get the service that you want, right? Hey, look, these two frames have the exact same prescription, only that one is a thinned down version that I was able to get from Jeff's Optical House in 24 hours. This is a service that is exclusively available at Jeff's, and previously I would have had to wait for up to 2 weeks just to get a thinner version of my high prescription. And when I say high, I mean high prescription lenses. This is your sign to visit Jeff's Optical House. So
stop wasting your time. Stop wasting a good time.
Because that is where you go wrong.
That is criminal revision number 51 of 2009. And he said clearly, Your Honor, that the basic denominator is to secure attendance of the accused, in our case, the suspects, to answer to charges against him. Your Honor, in paragraph 6 of the notice of motion, we are told that during the arrests of the respondents, several items were recovered as exhibits. And Your Honor, clearly, they've not shown. We don't have the exhibits before you. We don't have an inventory before you. Even photographs, Your Honor, we don't have. So these are just mere statements of puff or mere averments. In paragraph 7, Your Honor, of the notice of motion, we are being told about the seriousness of the offense. Your Honor, that owing to the seriousness of the offenses, the risk to public security and national security implications. Your Honor, the suspects you are seeing before you, vis-a-vis the police, Your Honor, the state has monopoly of violence and has all the tools of violence. Your Honor, if you see in some of the videos on social media how the state, how the police is executing the young ladies, the future of this nation, and men, young ladies and men, Your Honor, your heart will bleed. And if they are doing that to the unarmed civilians, what about those who will go to the police station armed? They can bomb them, Your Honor. Paragraph 8 of the notice of motion, Your Honor, we are being told about the complexity of the investigations, and that this includes recording of witness statements. If I had my brother, the inspector, he stated clearly that the witnesses went to the station and at the same time he's yet to record their statements. And Your Honor, the suspects before you have been held beyond 24 hours from 7th to 9th. So therefore, Your Honor, when you look at the cases that are presented before you that they will be charged with, that robbery with violence, and you slightly go deeper into the elements of these charges, robbery with violence, you see, and he agreed that he did say that he found the suspects in flagrante delicto, red-handed. So that means that, Your Honor, if he was to carry out forensic analysis of what? If you look at the elements of that crime, which entails that they are found in a group, found with weapons, they must have been violent, and the element of robbery established. So you are being told that they need more time to carry out forensic analysis, Your Honor. Another case is the assault of a police officer, Your Honor, and we are not told of the OB number of the said case, not here as we speak, and at the same time, the names of these officers, not told. And Your Honor, we are also not told of any P3 form that has been filled. Then, Your Honor, as I finish, when I come to paragraph 6 of the affidavit, Your Honor, paragraph 5, sorry, that at the time of the arrest, the respondents were duly informed of the reasons of their arrest, which is good enough. And Your Honor, by the time you are being informed of the reason of your arrest, it means that the IO is ready to charge you. So which means that the investigation is complete and therefore charge. But it comes before you, Your Honor, to persuade the court that I've arrested the suspects, give me more time. I've even held them beyond the 24-hour rule. I still need 10 more days so that I can continue investigating. By the time they were informing them, the natural laws of justice dictates that you arrest, you investigate, then you arrest. Not arrest, then investigate. Paragraph 6, Your Honor, I'm almost finishing. Paragraph 6, you are told that the respondents herein are believed to be part of a group of approximately 1,500 individuals. Believed to be part of a demonstration turned violent outside Juja police station. Your Honor, this is hearsay. Did not tell us that he's an expert in matters, statistics, or mathematics. That when he looks at a video, he knows that these are 1,500 people. Even myself, Your Honor, a certified actuary, having scored first-class honors, which is mathematics, pure mathematics. Your Honor, I cannot look at a video and say, these are even 40 people, leave alone 1,500. As I finish, Your Honor, paragraph 17 of the affidavit. You are being told, Your Honor, that the respondents pose a high flight risk. And I will draw you Your Honor, we are being told that the respondents are a high flight risk. And there is no evidence given. He just says that we do not know where they are coming from. Your Honor, they do not have to know where they come from or where they stay, so long as the respondents attend court religiously and spiritedly. And Your Honor, be that as it may, the respondents have identification documents which they can leave before you, Your Honor, where they can be found. And that can help you, can help the IOSORI to trace them. And Your Honor, these are not foreigners, these are Kenyans, law-abiding Kenyans who are enjoying their rights to demonstrate. Your Honor, you are also being told that the seriousness of the offenses, and that I will give you the case of Richard, again, R versus Richard David Alden. And it was stated clearly that even a capital offense does not constitute a compelling reason. Even a capital offense does not constitute a compelling reason. And in the case for flight risk, Your Honor, I just give you that case, I'm sorry. In Job Kenyanya Musini versus the Republic versus Job Kenyanya Musoni, High Court at Nairobi, criminal application number 399 of 2012. The court allowed a bail application and held that mere allegations that the accused was a flight risk did not suffice. The prosecution ought to have substantiated its claims. And there is no proof that they even have passports. So therefore, Your Honor, as I finish, the definition of compelling reason as per the Thesaurus and Oxford Dictionary is that it has to be something so grieving, so strong, so convincing, and so undeniable. Hence, Your Honor, Article 49(1)H states that an arrested person has a right to be released on bail or bond unless there are compelling reasons. Yet the reasons that were being given by the prosecution are uncompelling, frivolous, and fickle. Therefore, Your Honor, Article 37 protects the respondents to enjoy their right to peaceably demonstrate, picket, and present petitions. And further, Article 21, I don't know if you lost me, Your Honor.
That's summarized.